Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we go. Back for this afternoon's live stream, a continuation of this morning's live stream, but more detail. I've got 100,000 windows open. Just kidding. Got several, though, so we're going to be all business. I'm going to try to hang out in the chat as much as I can, but I've got a lot of information to cover. If you saw this morning's live stream, we gave an update on the formation or the possible formation of a possible hurricane in the northern Gulf. We're going to talk about that. There's been some changes. What's up, guys? I see you over there in the chat. Everybody looking good. Thanks for stopping by. What's up, the awakened Seth? Hey. What's up, Rick? Nope, no time to panic just yet. But there has been a change just since this morning when we did the forecast. Here's the screen grab, in fact, from this morning, or right here. This is what I shared with you this morning. It's changed. It's already changed in just a matter of 6 hours. I'll share that change with you guys here in a minute. There are all kinds of special weather statements extending from Texas through the southeastern United States into Florida, where there's almost 30,000 power outages right now as I do this video. Hello, AZ Watchwoman, longtime Star Family member there. Become a Star Family member yourself. Click on that link in the description box or in the chat box. But storms are brewing. It's going to be a long, wet summer, guys. I have a feeling we're going to see more and more flooding as we move into the summer months. As you can see by looking at this radar, there are storms popping up for literally thousands of miles, all down and up the eastern seaboard, all through Florida. Florida's got like, how many? I'll update and see. Last time I looked, there was 29,000. Still 29,000 in Florida. Washington's got 10,000 customers without power, and I'm assuming, I don't know what's going on up there. I'm not even going to assume. That could be inclement weather. Anybody know what's going on up in the state of Washington? I don't think it's inclement weather. That's why I was hesitant to say, unless there's just some high winds that we're obviously not seeing on this map here. I've definitely got a flashing light update to share with you guys, and a couple of experiments that people have sent in trying to solve the mystery. Very impressive. Some mystery objects on the SOHO LASCO C2. In fact, we're going to get right to that. And then I've got a Florida Fireball, AZ Sunset, all kinds of crazy skies. You guys are going to love this video. You are in for a treat. But first, we're going to take off and go up to the sun. Here we go. This was sent in by a viewer. I probably would have found it because this is one of my pit stops I go to every... Whoops, this is the EMF meter experiment. We're going to come back and take a look at that. I'm not quite ready for that. I thought I clicked on SOHO. Where's my friends at SOHO? Right there. Check this out. This is super cool. We've only seen this like one other time, and this was on the other instrument, the SOHO LASCO C3, and it didn't contain a comet. What you're looking at here is a satellite that monitors the sun. It's been monitoring the sun since 1998, believe it or not, nonstop. This was sent in by Corey. Corey's from Ohio. This segment you're watching is from the 12th, a couple of days ago. SOHO LASCO C2. Okay, we're over on the right-hand side of the sun. This would be like in front of the Earth. And the stereo spacecraft is in front of this spacecraft. So watch the activity. We're going to slow it down and zoom in. You're going to see a comet right there enter the field of view. You're going to see something else. Enter the field of view. Did you see that? That was not a comet. What was that? The only thing you typically see on here moving like that, are comets. That was not a comet. Or you see background stars. The little flashy things you see are ions, charged particles, a lot of times just interacting with the spacecraft. Check this out. There goes the comet, and look at this thing right here. Let me back it up. See it right there? 1, 2, and these are, the images that you see are 12-minute segments. There's only five frames per hour. So you can see how long this was in the field of view for several hours, moving around the right-hand side of the sun. Look at that. Very cool stuff. Something tumbling through space. I don't know if we have another interstellar traveler, huh? There it goes. And it even made a left-hand turn. Did you see that? Here it is in a different format. I'll let it play at original speed. There it goes. Turned and went behind the sun. You've got to be kidding me. This was on the 12th, just a couple of days ago. This is probably the best field of view right here. Check it out. Right there, and goes around behind the sun. Guys, that was not a comet. I don't want to speculate on what it was. Doubt very seriously that it was any type of a satellite, spacecraft. I'll leave it up to you. You guys tell me what you think it is. Pretty good size. And again, these frames are 12 minutes apart. So this was in the field of view for several hours. It's kind of cruising around behind the sun. Satellite, I don't think we would have been able to even see. What a great catch on the Soho Lasco C2. Very cool. We talked about the wildfire smoke in yesterday's video. Arizona was consumed with wildfire smoke as the wind was pushing the smoke from the Grand Canyon south, and it was bringing smoke up from New Mexico, and it's just a whole mess. So after yesterday's live stream, what I did was went outside to look at the sunset, and here it is from Arizona. That's what the sun looked like from my backyard. Yes, there was wildfire smoke in the sky. It was blocking out the sun a little, not a whole lot. I mean, I've obviously seen a lot more dramatic than that. Sometimes there's so much wildfire smoke that it'll turn the sun purple and pink. You guys have all seen that too. This, you can see the orange haze in the foreground there. There was indeed wildfire smoke. It's not quite as prominent today as it was yesterday, and I'm glad. Boy, that was just a nasty combination of wildfire smoke, and we're not getting the Sahara dust over here like they're getting in Florida. But I will say this, the rains are helping the situation in Florida with regard to the Sahara dust, because they have been dealing with it. In fact, we'll take a look at the Sahara dust real quick. Here it is. And, well, they're not doing too bad. I know it's in the Caribbean Sea. All this tan stuff you see on this map over here at Null School, these are airborne particulates that have traveled all the way from Africa to the Caribbean Sea. You can see some up here in the Gulf right there, but not necessarily over Florida per se. A few weeks ago, Florida was entirely covered with Sahara sand. Got another batch coming right there. It's nonstop. It'll be like that more than likely all summer long. It is quite the, it is nasty. Especially when you mix it in with wildfire smoke. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Where are we at? Oh, the power outages. Yeah, we looked at that. I've got a lot of stuff to share with you guys. I'm just trying to keep it organized, guys. That's all. Sunset, Lasco, flashing lights. Oh yeah, I want to give you guys the update on the possible hurricane that could be making landfall in the New Orleans, Gulfport, Mississippi area on the 17th, 3 days from now. Let's look and see what the update shows us. This is what we looked at this morning. I've updated it since then, and you can see it's changed a little bit with regard to the strength. This morning at the same time, it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's what this one shows right over here on the lower right hand side. 2 p.m. is when we took this screenshot, and there wasn't anything in here much above 100 mile an hour with regard to wind gusts. Now, same date, same time, look at the wind gusts. 106, 100, I'll go in a little tighter. Multiple wind gusts right there closer to the core on the right-hand side, which is normally the strongest. 105, this was not there this morning. 103. Again, this is a forecast. It can and will change, but and it's moved a little farther to the, actually a little bit farther to the south and to the west. If you look at the center of rotation, this morning's screenshot had the center of rotation right above the, what do they call that? The boot of New Orleans, or not New Orleans, of Louisiana. It was right there above the very southern tip of Louisiana. Now it's showing the center of rotation on the opposite side. So it's moved with regard to the path. So there's no reason to panic just yet. This thing could completely go away. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But right now, they're very consistent with the pattern. It's been like this for over 24 hours. That's why I'm going ahead and talking about it now, because this could become Hurricane Dexter. It may disappear and not become anything at all. So just something to keep our eyes on. The path once again has moved a little bit to the south and west, but it could these things have a tendency to wobble. You guys all know that. But here's the location once again, just in case you're wondering what they're talking about. I've confirmed it now with a couple of more models. So I do think this is going to become a thing. I saw one model just about an hour and a half ago as I was making the rounds trying to collect information to give you guys a comprehensive report. One report showed 12 inches of rain down here in southern Louisiana. 12 inches of rain in a very short period of time on the 17th. So between the 16th and 17th. So just a big heads up. That's all. No reason to panic just yet. Have a plan. Know what you're going to do. If the storm is moving more towards Texas, then you guys in New Orleans might be in pretty good shape. Then that means people over in the Houston area, Beaumont, Lake Charles, maybe you want to start keeping an eye on this thing. Don't know, but it does look like it's getting possibly stronger. The atmosphere is obviously very conducive right now for the formation of hurricanes. The water is exceptionally warm. The water in there is what, 86 degrees? Unbelievable. And there are special weather statements, as I was talking about earlier, all throughout the eastern seaboard. All of these little corrals you see here, these odd looking squares, these are special weather statements from the National Weather Service. And what most of these are implying are high winds in these areas. There's pockets of high winds, heavy rain, and even hail over in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, parts of Texas, down in Florida, obviously, where they're dealing with about 30,000 power outages right now as I do this video. There was a huge squall line moving through Florida from the northeast to the southwest, which in itself is a little bit odd. So that tells you there's an area of disturbance in this part of the country that could develop a storm that could make its way over into the Louisiana, Texas area. But this is a mess right now down in Florida. Good grief, all kinds of special weather statements. Let's see what this one here says. Just read a few. Home weather station near Reels Road reported. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. See, again, we're talking about this wild weather. Look at what's being reported near Plant City, Florida. Check this out. 8.76 inches of rain that just occurred within the last hour. That's major flooding, flash flooding. Wow. That's right in here in the Lakeland area. Oh, that's a lot of rain, guys. And look at the rotation right there. Look at that. See the big signature? I'm telling you, it's going to be a wet and wild summer. Let's read some of these other reports that we're seeing in. 8.76 inches of rain. Okay, that's the one that we just read. Here's another one. Wow. 8.76 again. I think that's the same person. They submitted it twice. Here's another one to confirm the 8.7. Home weather station in Plant City, 9.38 inches of rain on Wiggins Road. And the other one was on, that's shocking, near Smith Riles Road. Wow. They are dealing with some major flash flooding there right now. Anybody in Florida right now? Are you guys experiencing this? That is unbelievable. That's just from a thunderstorm that just rolled through. 9 inches of rain? Huh. Now, this is a home weather station, so, I don't know about the degree of accuracy, but one said 8 3/4 and one said 9.5. Oh, wow. This is being confirmed. Doppler radar indicated rain gauges indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Check this out. Between 4 and 6 inches of rain have fallen. The rainfall rate is 1 to 3 inches per hour. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. I'm sure it's already started. Oh, wow. This includes the following streams and drainages: Turkey Creek, Howell Branch, Sparkman Branch, Hamilton Branch, Alafia River, and North Prong Alafia River. Precautionary measures: turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flows most issues occur in vehicles. Guys, that is a flash flood warning that's currently underway. Some places are reporting 9 inches of rain in Central Florida. And you can see how fast this storm system's moving. Those are torrential downpours. Well, you talk about a freak storm. There's going to be a lot of those guys. I'm telling you, it's going to be a wet summer. I've been saying that for a while now. And I sincerely, I can't emphasize enough how wet of a summer it's going to be because of this radar that's been, this satellite has been telling me this all winter. Not necessarily all winter, but since early spring. All of this moisture down here, it's just been culminating. It's just been sitting here for months and it's moving its way forward. I can see the transition. It's getting wet. Like the freak storm we just saw down in Florida that dropped 8 to 9 inches of rain. You've got to be kidding me. Anybody in Central Florida? I'm sorry, guys. I got the chat over here and I'm trying to keep up with everything. I'm sorry, guys. Daily around 6 p.m. I know I lived in Florida. Hey, Terry Berry, thank you for the super chat, or the Star family. Star family member is growing. I know I used to live in Florida, and you could set your clock by when it would rain, light rain in the afternoons. I remember that crystal clear, driving home from work, and then it would start raining in this one spot on I-4, the I-4 corridor. What was the crossroads? I think I just went past Turkey Lake or something like that. But yeah, you could just about set your clock every single day, but not 8, 9 inches. That is unheard of. Shiner Dryden. Hey, Shiner, what's going on? Shiner made me the coolest avatar I think I've ever seen. Thank you, Shiner. I have it right here on my desktop, and I have it on this, or that monitor, and this monitor. I love it. Very cool. Okay, in Central Florida, hard rain, then stopped. Yeah, it didn't last very long, did it, Mr. Mex? Looked like it went through pretty fast, but they're reporting 8 and 9 inches of rain in a very short period of time down around Lakeland. Holy mackerel. That is unbelievable. Okay, it's just something we're watching, guys. It's going to be a wet summer, so be ready. And be ready for the possible hurricane. Not saying that it's 100%, but there's the percentages of the hurricane forming in the northern Gulf. Wherever it's going to go, if it forms, it remains to be seen. Again, it's moved since this morning. It's moving towards the west, towards Texas. So this could end up being, if it materializes, a Texas event and not a Louisiana event. So everybody in Texas, especially East Texas, along the coast, be ready. And then again, it may stay in the New Orleans area. I don't know. All we can do is just monitor it and see what's up. Thank you for the super chat there, worldwide. You are awesome. Appreciate that. If you guys would like to put some color in the chat, by all means do so. Go down to the bottom, find the super stickers or the super chats. I want to show you guys something. I've got all kinds of stuff to share with you guys in this video. Crazy skies. I get requests from people all the time. They say, where's your sky phenomena photos? Because I used to do that in every video, and I did. So what I did, I put together, just for fun, a collection of photos that I've received here recently of the show that the skies are putting on every single day somewhere around the world. Fremantle, Western Australia. We're starting off way down under. This is what the sky looked like the other day. Photos sent in by Bobby G. That was unedited, exactly the way I received it. Going up to British Columbia, Brandon Tucker. Notice these bright orange clouds up in the sky that had these unique, cool shapes. That's what compelled him to take the photos and videos, was the submarine-looking clouds. Here's just some true sky phenomena. Going to Illinois, Stacy Gabler sent these photos in about 3 days ago. In fact, she was in the chat yesterday and asked me if I got the photos, and I did, and there they are. I believe these are out of northern Illinois. They had some wild and crazy storms move through northern Illinois about 3 days ago, and that's the leading edge of the storm front that went through northern Illinois, and it was a doozy. I don't think it dropped 8 or 9 inches of rain like they just saw in Florida. That is just shocking. Speaking of Florida, Vivian Rogers, Miami, Florida. Here's you some colorful clouds on top of the clouds. That is supposedly caused by ice crystals and the angle of the sun. And I don't get too many photos like this. Every once in a while they'll come in, and this is one of those wilds. There you go. Looks like a glowing bulb of light with multicolors. Check this out. Going back down to Australia, we started the video off down in Western Australia. Going to Melbourne, Australia, the other side. Gareth Taylor. Notice this in the sky. Check this out. And he didn't think it was from an airplane. What is going on there? And this is from just a few nights ago. I believe on the night of the 9th. Look at that. That's the moon. Actually, the 10th. The moon over there. Big, massive line in the sky that occupied a big portion of the western sky. What an incredible photo. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming. I'm getting photos from all over the world. Georgia, Linda Neal. Look at this. Row after row after row after row after row. These don't even look natural. Look at this. As far as she could see, and this is obviously what compelled her to take the photo, was the row of these straight lines in the sky. They just don't look natural. Don't look natural at all. Linda Neal's from Georgia. Here's another sky. United Kingdom. We've been to Western Australia, United Kingdom. This sky here almost doesn't look natural. It looks kind of like charcoal gray. It just doesn't look right. Speaking of doesn't look right, this looks like a big smokestack in the sky. We've been seeing these here lately. However, they've been reversed. They've been coming down to the ground. This one's going up into the sky. This is huge. Brittany Strickland out of Waynesboro, Virginia. What an ominous looking sky. It's like a big tower of clouds. Look at that. Can't make this stuff up, man. That's a real photo. I didn't do anything to it but put her name on it. J.D. Martinez out of Wichita, Kansas. This was so big he had to do a pano. Look at that. Again, you can't make this stuff up. I didn't do anything to that photo. He already had his name put on it. Nampa, Idaho, Luann Neal. Here's a lone roll cloud up here in the sky above Idaho. Linda Neal saw about 20. There's one right there all by itself above Idaho. That's what compelled her to take the photo. Number 11, going back down to Florida, Laura Bennett. These are mammatus clouds, very common whenever there's a strong storm system that rolls through an area. We saw this the other day. I posted a video a while back about a black double-decker rainbow. And here you go. Here's another example of a black rainbow. What? Yeah, can't make this stuff up. So you probably got a sky here full of I don't know, possibly wildfire smoke. Does this show where she's at? Florida. Okay, well, maybe it's the Sahara sand particles. I'm not sure. But anyway, the rainbow is black. That's how I received the photo. In fact, the next photo she also sent in from Florida, that's unedited. That's exactly how I received it. What an ominous looking sky. Are you serious right now? Danielle Moore Jones from Moriarty. Check this out. This was way off in the distance. She was very intrigued by the colorful sky. This is lightning that was making no sound, but the sky was just loaded with purples and pinks, and every once in a while you'd see a light green, light blue, just a very intense sky. Number 13, another example of the mammatus clouds going way back down under to Australia. Eastern Creek, New South Wales, Australia, ding, 7/8/2025. These were spotted down in the southern hemisphere as well. Look at that. Occupying the, holy cow, Hillary. Pennsylvania, Doug noticed a big wedge in the sky. Hey, Hillary Windorf, thank you for the super chat. Let me give you a like over there. That's really cool. My husband said roll clouds are normal. What's going on with all the fog and Antarctica's ocean currents? Will it affect the hurricane season? Yes, it will, Hillary. I believe so. 100%. Thank you so much for the super chat. And in fact, we're going to talk more about that later. I'm working on some things regarding that very topic and the Pacific Ocean anomaly off the coast of Ecuador and the situation in Antarctica and the upcoming hurricane season. Yes, ma'am. Good question. Roll clouds are normal. They are. But when you see like 15 in a row like that, it's a bit odd. It really is. We see roll clouds quite often, and your husband's right. They are normal. But to see that many of them lined up as far as she could see, it was a little bit unusual. Lucky 88. Notice this cool looking cloud on 7/7 of 2025. Big anvil cloud, big tall thunderhead starting to form there. Not sure of the location as they didn't share the location with me. And this too is normal. They just look very impressive. Example number 16. I've been getting a lot of cool sky photos here lately. This here almost doesn't look normal. The colors, the dark grays and stuff, they look influenced, if you know what I mean. You know, and there's more of these unusual looking straight rows of clouds. And yes, they can be normal. And these more than likely are. It's just the colors. Sometimes at sunset, we'll see the dark grays and stuff like that that don't look normal after a long day of you know what. Minnesota, beautiful halo on the horizon with the sundogs on the left and right. Very cool stuff. I've had that photo a while. Thank you, Hillary, for the super chat. Once again, that's greatly appreciated. It means a lot. Here's another video. This one's out of California, Apple Valley, California. Colorful clouds, nothing nefarious, just kind of cool. You don't see the colors like that every day next to the sun, and the clouds were very uniquely shaped. That's what compelled the gentleman to take the photos. Where's those roll clouds once again? These right here. They're questionable, let's put it that way. There's just too many. They're as far as she could see. Yes, they can be normal, and then we've also seen grids up in the sky of these types of roll clouds, these narrow roll clouds, the big massive roll clouds that are highly photogenic. We see those primarily along the coastline, but not limited to the coastline. We've seen grids of these in the sky that didn't look natural. Not only were they running vertically, they were running horizontally, crisscrossing each other, that formed what looked like a series of tic-tac boards in the sky. Make that make sense, a series of 90-degree angles. So sometimes when we see these, that's why we question them based off of what we've seen in the past. Sometimes they just don't look natural. But you're right, in most cases, a lot of cases, they can and will be of natural origins. Yes, indeed. Have a cool video to share with you guys. You tell me what you think this is. I just got this less than 48 hours ago. It's out of Bay Springs, Mississippi, sent in by Curtis Wyndham, and it's of a helicopter flying through the sky. Watch what comes near the helicopter. I've zoomed in on this super tight. I didn't leave that in here because it got super pixelated, but I wanted to rule out a bird. You're going to see something come towards this helicopter from the left, stop on a dime, and then go back to the left. So it was moving left to right, stops, and then goes from right to left. Check it out. Slow motion, zoom in. I know it was probably a little hard to see. Here we go. There it is. Almost hits the helicopter. Did you see that? We're going to zoom in again. Super slow this time. Here it comes from the left. Almost hits the helicopter. And then goes back the other way. Here's a different format. Light is dark, dark is light. right before it got to the blades that went the other way. I don't know. I don't think it's a bird. And the reason I don't think it's a bird is because, well, number one, you don't see a symmetrical flapping or wings. It's this very first maneuver and the way it was able to keep up with the helicopter. That very first maneuver right here, that right there, then up and down, it actually accelerated. And birds, yeah, they can accelerate, but not that fast. I don't know what that was. That was a cool video out of Bay Springs. Is that where the Bay Springs, Mississippi? Get videos like this frequently, not exactly like this, but something came at that helicopter. Exactly what it was, I don't know. It was a crystal clear day, not a cloud in the sky. I don't think it was a bird because it looks a little too big to be a bird. And when we zoomed in on it, it didn't look like a drone. A drone, we would have been able to tell. You would have seen a very definitive structure. And then you would have been able to tell that it was of man-made origin. I don't know what that was. People talk about these orbs all the time and things like that. That just came out of nowhere like it was investigating the helicopter. Then it went away. I don't know. Got a couple of experiments that I want to share with you guys. I know we've been talking about these flashing lights since November of 2024. Check this out. These are two experiments that were sent in by two different people that don't know each other. The first experiment's out of Denver, near the Denver International Airport. Tracy and Jim Likens, 7/5 of 2025. They sent this in the following day, 7/6. They came across a rogue and random flashing light. Jim got out of his car, walked over to this light right here that was flashing, used an EMF meter to see if maybe there was some sort of a rogue frequency there that was causing the light to flash. And sure enough, he discovered a frequency, but he also found something else. Check this out.
We're at Denver International Airport. There's a weird light here.
See it flashing
and
everywhere.
Jim's got his EMF reader. He's going to go over and check it out. It's a flashing light.
Watch what he does. This is pretty wild. Okay, I put it in fast forward. And now watch what happens. Did you see that? Look. The light turns off. When he touches it, it turns back on. One more time. That's why I zoomed in on the left so you could see. I left the original on the right. When he touches the base of the light pole, it's as if he was grounding it or something. And it turned back on. Watch. Okay, watch. Okay, here we go. He touches it right now. Turns on, off, on, off. I mean, really, make that make sense. Again, this is near the Denver International Airport.
You know, are you? That was weird. Did you see that? What happened? Watch. Wait for it to go out. Okay.
See? He touches it, came back on.
When you touch it, it comes back on.
Or if I get near it, it'll come right back on.
See?
Weird.
It's like 6 times. That's not a
I don't
coincidence.
have to touch it though.
Did your EMF detect
Yeah,
it?
it's going up and down.
It is? Let's get a reading on that one.
Gotta wait for it to go off again.
They noticed more of an anomaly with his EMF meter when the light was off. Granted, you're going to pick up some electromagnetic frequency while it's
The closer I
on.
get to it, the brighter it gets.
But whenever it was off, he noticed an anomaly, as if something was interfering with the flow of electricity. And I didn't ask him to do this. They took it upon themselves to do this. So I do believe there is something interfering with the flow of electricity.
Oh, dang.
Dang, it's spiking now. It's not done that.
That didn't happen with the other lights.
I'll get away from it.
Does it go back down?
Yeah, if I get away from it,
Yeah.
it's back down to 50.
Let me see. Oh yeah. Let me go up to it.
It's not spiking like it was a minute ago, though.
No. Oh, there it is.
Strange.
Okay. Well, it stopped blinking since we've been over here.
I know.
That's just bizarre.
When they pulled up, it was blinking, blinking, blinking. He'd go up and touch it, and it would stop. Did it 6 times. Now this one here has a couple of segments that are super bright, so I'm just giving you a heads up. Those of you that are sensitive to the really bright flashing lights, it's only for a couple of seconds, but I want to give you a heads up just in case. This is another experiment. Gentleman tries, and he ran across this by accident. He's got 2 different bulbs in his ceiling fan. This is a light fixture of his ceiling fan. Watch what happens. You're going to see pulsing come through this bulb here as if something's interfering with the flow of electricity.
This is an incandescent light bulb.
Again.
As you can clearly see by the inside.
Isn't that weird?
Right? Okay, now my fan's turning, of course. It's going to have some interference with it. Now I'm going to put this one on. That is an LED.
This is where it's kind of bright.
Next to the incandescent. Do you see that? What was that?
Good question. This is the second video.
Back with the new video. This is the same bulb I showed you on a previous video.
Look at it
now
pulsing.
The fan's not running. Correct?
Fan's not even running now.
Not running. See that interference? Now watch.
There is interference.
This
shows up just rogue and random. You never know when or where it's going to show up.
That's a bulb.
Still doing it.
That I don't know what the heck it is doing. But it's kind of strange to me. LED. Regular.
Isn't that wild?
LED. See?
Ran across this by sheer accident, and they were both acting as if they were dealing with some form of interference. And I believe that is what's going on. Where that interference is coming from could be the sun. There's speculation because I have people that I talk to. In fact, I was in a couple of meetings today with some really smart people, and they were throwing around the idea that maybe there's an excessive amount of helium that's penetrating through maybe the anomaly in the South Atlantic Ocean from the CMEs and the uptick in solar activity. Maybe there's an excessive amount of helium that can cause interference. I don't know. It was just a thought. It was a theory that's being kind of tossed around with me and some other guys. It's not proven yet, but I do believe that there is a component somewhere, whether it's originating from Earth's core or originating from the sun, maybe a combination of both, that's causing interference with these lights. And you could crystal clear see the light pulsing on the right-hand side and the left too. The LED was just straight up flashing. Don't know, guys. I have no idea what's going on, but we're following it very closely. I still get videos every single day of lights flashing all around the world. And in our next video, I've got an update of the flashing light phenomena from the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. Looking at the GOES X-ray flux the last 7 days, there's been an increase. You can see a slight increase in activity. That's because the Earth-facing side of the sun, we're going to take a look at it right now over here at the homepage of the website. We're dealing with a large coronal hole, but the vast majority of that energy is missing the Earth because of the location of the coronal hole. It's on the bottom side of the sun below the equator. So that energy is going past the Earth, looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun, the disk. Look at the blank disk. It's not blank anymore. We do have a few sunspots. In fact, there's a big one back here. I think there's a bigger one around the corner around the curve we can't see yet. but solar activity should be picking back up here very soon. We are still in solar maximum. Looking at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, hasn't changed much since this morning. Still wild and wacky. Got the crazy seismograph up at the northern edge. I'm not sure what's going on up there. Maybe a geyser's forming. Maybe there's something going on with the magma on the move, but it looks like the ground is just, I don't know, breathing, so to speak. Looking at the power outage situation, let me update that because I have a feeling. Okay, they're getting the power back on in Florida, which is good. Now we have power outages in Texas, which we didn't have earlier. 10,800, 10,800 coincidentally in Washington, 22,000 in the state of Florida, where locals are reporting 8 and 9 inches of rain in probably less than an hour, maybe an hour and a half in the Lakeland, Florida area. You've got to be kidding me. Looking at the dry air coming across from the Atlantic Ocean, you can see that there's more than likely not going to be any hurricanes forming out here anytime soon. That is that is a hurricane crusher right there. That dry air coming across the Atlantic. Now they can form up here where the air is not so dry, where there's the possibility of a hurricane forming here in the next 72 hours. Yeah, conditions are good there, but there's not gonna be hurricanes out there. There's no way. They can't form. The laws of physics won't even allow it. Now this here, we're keeping a close eye on it. No reason to panic just yet, but have a plan just in case. And never panic. Just stay cool. This thing here could move over into Florida. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, it's still showing New Orleans-ish landfall on the 17th around 2 p.m., 5 p.m., with winds increasing now of over 105, 106 mile an hour in places. So we'll have to wait and see. We could be looking at Hurricane Dexter by the end of this week in the northern Gulf of Mexico. Let me back out and show you guys exactly where we're at. I'm sorry, Gulf of America. I still call it the Gulf of Mexico. I've called it that for so many years, but I'll get it right. I'll get it right. It's in the northern Gulf is where it's going to be. And again, the wind strength is intensifying. At least the models are showing that. And the models are showing heavy rain. So if it's not an organized system, one thing that I have found across all the platforms that I use, there could be, like we just saw in Central Florida, very heavy rainfall, whether it's a tropical storm, hurricane, or not. There's still going to be a big slug of moisture push into the southern Louisiana area, quite possibly southern Texas, and possibly including southern Mississippi. So again, whether it's a hurricane or not, tropical storm or not, heavy rainfall, just like we saw shockingly in Central Florida. People reporting, once again, here's another look, just to verify. In fact, I might take a screen grab of this. I don't think I've ever, 8.76 inches. I am going to take a screen grab of that. And another one was 9.6? Here, let's look and see. I mean, I'm just blown away. That's 8.76. I'm sorry. High winds over in the Tampa area. Very bizarre storm. 8.76 again. Where's the 9? Where's the 9? 8.76 twice. Here's the 9 right here. Yeah, right there, 9.38. Let's take a screenshot of that too. Wow, that is nuts. That's a lot of rain. And of course that's going to create flash flooding. You bet it is. That water's got nowhere to go but up. .38 inches. Woo! It's a lot of rain, guys. That was a wild-looking storm. Traveling once again in an odd direction, moving from the northeast to the southwest. Storms usually move in the opposite direction. That's going backwards and brought a boatload of rain. Incredible. So once again, the storm is showing strengthening, possibly making a landfall Thursday. Again, this is a forecast. It can and will change. How much it will change, we're going to watch it real close and see. So I'll keep you guys updated. I want to thank you guys for the super chats and the New Star family members. I'll hang out in the chat for a little while. What's going on, guys? Are you having a good day? Hillary, thank you for the super chat. That is super cool. Really appreciate it. Gulf of America. I know, Dragon. My bad. My bad. I've called it Gulf of Mexico for I don't even know how long, but a long time. But yeah, my bad. Gulf of America. Valerie, check into chaff for possible interference. Chaff is a military. It's a military. It's not an experiment, but they use chaff to calibrate radar. Or it's used for radar. I've actually seen chaff on radar that was dumped out of a Hercules C-130 above. Where was it above? It was above. I want to say Mississippi, and it showed up on the radar. And there was so much speculation on. Oh my God! People thought it was a swarm of grasshoppers. They thought a swarm of locusts. The theories and speculation was wild. Nobody knew for sure what it was at the time. It ended up being chaff. A whole plane load of chaff was dropped out of the sky, and it's little shards of I don't know, some kind of a aluminum. It's kind of like a strands of a Brillo pad from what I understand, and it's got something to do with radar. Gulf of America. I know. I'm getting used to it, Dragon. You bet. There's my moderator. Got the best moderator on YouTube. Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of America. Yeah, Gulf of America. It classifies the rights to minerals. Ah, gotcha. I see. I knew there was a reason for it. I mean, the reason we were told is because most of the coastline in the Gulf, they say, is on the America side, which is pretty close. I don't know if you go from the southern tip of Florida over to the southern tip of Texas, there's probably more shoreline than there is Mexico. But the mineral rights, that is a thing. The three mines, welcome to the Star family. Thank you. Appreciate that. You'll have a star by your name. Your name will be lit up in the chat. That's super cool. Thanks for the super chat once again, Hillary. That's very kind. Appreciate that. We're just keeping an eye on the storm, guys. We could be looking at Dexter here in 72 hours. Hurricane Dexter. We're going to see a lot of hurricanes this year. I truly believe that. We just saw a freak storm go through central Texas. There's that anomaly in the Pacific Ocean. That's what determines El Nino from La Nina right there. It's always there. It just depends on how strong it is. That's showing a lot of CO2 right now. So that's something else we got to keep an eye on. The storm that just went through Florida, supposedly right there, dropped 8 to 9 inches of rain in the Lakeland area. Are you serious right now? What do you do with that much rain, Hillary? There's Jeff and Houdini. Gulf of Mexico is 12 nautical miles from Mexico. The rest is Gulf of America. Right on. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. That's super cool. You guys are great. The three minds. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, you're awesome. Stay cool. Well, thank you. I will definitely do my best. You're awesome. Thank you for the super chat. I gave you a big thumbs up there. Whoops, what's going on here? I hit the wrong button. There we go. Jeff and Houdini and the three minds. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. There's my moderator. Moderator, we've been talking about the possibility of the formation of Mr. Dexter in the northern Gulf of Mexico. I know earlier this morning people had asked, because I guess I had the map too tight. I was trying to show the statistical data. I had the map like right here. My bad. But I thought you could see New Orleans and stuff like that. And some folks were like, where's the hurricane going to make landfall? If it becomes a hurricane. That's a big if, guys, because weather forecasts, especially with what's going on, like Hillary pointed out, down in Antarctica, that's got things all screwed up and it's going to continue to make things a little unpredictable. Absolutely it will. Especially if it continues to exponentially melt ice and there's more carbon reaching the surface and the water gets warmer. It's just going to create a domino effect. All we got to do is just be ready for it. That's all. No need to panic. Just be cool. Right here, though, it's moving to the west. I'm just letting you know it might move towards Texas the next time it updates. So it's kind of moving a little bit to the left. A little bit to the left. Earlier this morning, the the center of rotation was right towards Lake Pontchartrain, which is in the New Orleans area. Right now, the center of rotation is more towards Lake Charles, which is south and west of New Orleans. Cool. Gulf of America. I got you. I got you. My bad. My bad. My bad. There's another one, Gulf of Mexico. It's going to take a while to set in. Some people still. You know what? I saw a map the other day. Where did I see it? I forgot. It was I think it may be a weather station on TV that I was just flipping through the channels, and their map still showed Gulf of Mexico. So maybe they didn't get the memo. Yeah, maybe they didn't get the memo. I saw it. I got that. It's actually updated on Google Earth. Where's Google Earth? Let's go see our friends at Google Earth. They updated it real quick. Here we go. And if we go down to the Gulf, there it is. You guys are right. Look at you. Beans and Frank, Gulf of America. Beans and Frank, right there it is. Gulf of America, Beans and Frank is correct. And I knew that too. It's just I'm so used to saying, cut me a little bit of slack, guys. I've said Gulf of Mexico for 20 years. So I'm going to kind of reach into that same bag every once in a while. I'm sorry, my bad. It is Gulf of America officially. No problem, Lori. That's okay. No disrespect taken, man. Young lady, no problem. I've been taught it's Gulf of Mexico. I know. And again, you wonder what the real, why would it be so? I think it's cool. I like Gulf of America. I think it has a nice ring to it. In fact, most of the oil rigs out there are, I think, American operated. Right? If you look at the oil rigs in the Gulf, there's hundreds. In fact, there might be more than a few hundred out there. I think they're all American rigs. So why wouldn't it be the Gulf of America? You know what I mean? I don't know. It makes sense. It's all good. It doesn't really matter to me. It really doesn't. Just being honest, it doesn't matter. I don't have an ego. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just a normal guy. I try to get along with everybody. Right on. What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by. David, Gulf of America. You got it. Beans and Frank, Gulf of America. Some people still want to call it Gulf of Mexico. And you know what? If that's what you want to call it, go right ahead. Don't bother me nothing. Regina T. Mr. B, known you since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. Wow, that's a long time, Regina. That's an old saying that goes way back. Knee-high to a grasshopper. I haven't heard that for a long time. I heard it when I was a little kid. You bet I did. That's an old time. That's an old school saying. Yes, it is. How about the Gulf of A&M? There you go, Becky. Kind of meet halfway in the middle, huh? Gulf of A&M. I like that. It's all good. You know what? You can call it whatever you want. You're not going to bother me none. No, I won't be offended. Call it whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Isn't that the old saying? What's up, everybody? Natural Born Rebel, A-Dub. It's between North and South America. Should be Gulf of Americas. I'm just reading some of the comments over here. The reason I like Gulf of America is because my grandfather said it should have been named GOA. And you know what? And it probably should. I don't even know who named it Gulf of Mexico. I never really researched it. I don't know who named the Atlantic Ocean. Who named Earth Earth? Think about it. Who named Earth Earth? That's what I want to know. Who really named Earth Earth? Gulf of Amera. That's hard to say. Donnie D. Gulf of Amera. That's a mouthful. Amerixico. I think I got it right there. Amerixico. There we go. No, it's officially now, and it's on Google Earth, so it is definitely official. Google Earth, one of my favorite apps in the world. If it says Gulf of America, that's what I'm going with. Google Earth is the app. I just wish they'd go back to the old school time machine. Why'd y'all take the old time machine down? That was a beautiful feature. Now the time machine is just like, huh? Go back to the old time machine, guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you have your reasons. Tony, what's up, Tony? Piney Woods. Yeah, Gulf of Mexico rolls off the tongue easier, according to Piney Woods. Your chat froze. I know mine did there for a second too. I don't know why. The internet connection's good. It's showing an excellent connection. So I don't know what's up. It's doing good now though. Gulf of Google, Dusty. All right. I never thought of that. But I know I did notice Google Earth was one of the first ones to change it on Google Earth and Google Maps. So it must be official if they changed it on there. You know it is. Thank you, Three Minds, for the Star Family Star. You'll have Star by your name in every single chat. Well, listen, guys, I wanted to give you the afternoon update. I've got some more things to share with you guys. I'm still working on the deep space video. It's not even up in the rotation here because I'm not done with it yet. The tool bag that I reach in to modify, I don't alter them. I modify the lighting and things to make the video presentation better for you guys. I got to dig a little deeper into the tool bag to make it just right. So I'm still working on that. It's super cool. You guys are going to really enjoy it. It's a deep space object captured on video from right down here in southern Nevada. Very, very cool stuff. Don't forget to check out Ancient Aliens coming up here. Where we at? July, August, a couple of months when the fall season starts. New episode of Ancient Aliens. You'll see myself in that episode with Travis. We'll be analyzing video footage. In fact, I analyzed the video footage for that episode right here on this computer, this laptop here. Converted it all to 4K, and it'll be a great episode. Check it out. It was a lot of fun. Yep. 8 inches of rain. I just saw that, A-Dub, in West Central Florida. Confirmed again. So that's 2 people have confirmed 8 inches of rain in West Central Florida. Wow, guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be a wet summer. I know I've been saying that. I believe it just by looking at the just perpetual moisture down here in this part of the world. It's moving to the north, and it's causing these anomalies like we're seeing. There's heavy rain right now up in Colorado, western Nebraska, western South Dakota. Those are just very heavy, intense pockets of rain. And the pocket of rain that just went over Florida, that was shocking. 8 to 9 inches of rain in probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Incredible. You guys be safe out there. Listen, I'm going to call it a day. I've got some more work to do. In fact, my day is not done yet, but I wanted to get the live stream up before it got too late. So I'm going to hop off here for now, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all the super chats and the Star Family members. I greatly appreciate it, and I thank you all for hanging out with me this afternoon and this morning. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.